Hey Bears, Eric here, and I was actually going to make a different video today. I got to my desk and I was like, I have some ideas. I have some videos I want to look at, some articles I want to read, want to make something different. But let me check my channel first. This Lady Baller's reaction video that I did. Let me just look over there and see what's happening. Because last night, if you were awake, you'll know I was doing a lot of shorts. I do apologize. But there's just so many dumb people responding to that video. I mean, I expected it, but it's so much dumb bot behavior on that video that I was making shorts, and I eventually just gave up and went to bed. But I was like, let me check today before I make any new content. And my oh my, is that video blowing up, which is weird. I guess I'm getting into people's recommended with that one, which is kind of funny to me. It's actually really funny to see all the coping and people just outraged that I happen to think the movie looks really stupid and low budget and reactionary and misguided and full of disinformation. All those things, all the things that the movie actually is, they seem to be upset about that, which I think is quite interesting and quite funny. Anyway, let's take a look here. This is the comment section. But still at 641. Okay, good. So this is where I paused it at right before we started. It's just a lot of dumb bot behavior in the comments. Libs get their pantis in a bunch easily. Yeah, our pantis. I would suggest not quitting your day job, but that's probably what your coworkers have been praying for. Interesting. For someone who says Z isn't triggered, you sound pretty triggered by the movie. I don't think so. I was very calm in this trailer reaction. I guess you guys were looking for screaming people, but you can't get that, so you're just gonna say whatever. This is an awesome looking movie. This commentary is thick with delusion and bizarre ideas. Why do you keep saying they? Is that the right pronoun? Did you even bother to find out? You don't care about pronouns. Stop with the fake allyship bullshit. Movie is going to be great. You just don't have common sense. These lefties are so wrapped in their own nonsense. It's ridiculous. This guy's commentary is so out of touch and hypocritical. Interesting. Circular arguments abound. Massive eye Bluebeard. Okay. I actually didn't have a Bluebeard in the video. I used it on the thumbnail because I like the color. So anyway, but yeah, so a lot of really bot behavior in the comments, so I thought was quite funny. And the thing about this movie is that there's a couple of things I just like to bring up. One is they had to lie to get the movie made. There's an article that talks about, and this is from last year, there's an article that talks about how they basically lied to people to get them to come and be part of the filming of the movie. Let's go ahead and jump over here to this here. Trans advocates protest Daily Wire production in Nashville, which is where the movie was filmed. This is from June of last year because the movie wrapped filming in July. And what this article talks about, we're not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to paraphrase some of it. The article talks about how they had to lie to get people into the stadiums to film scenes. They were talking about here that they were given, where's it at, the amount they were paid. The pay started at $150 a day in cash. The number was eventually raised to $200 and later $300. As confirmed by email correspondence between casting recruiters and extras. Recruiter emails also sought people who would dress in drag as a visual gag, though would not include practicing drag queens. So that's the thing, is they didn't want to invite actual drag queens because then that would, it would be them sort of compromising their beliefs. So they're just going to get men to dress in drag and pay them $300 to show up, even though that makes no difference at all in the concept of what's being done. The cognitive dissonance in the way they made this film is ridiculous here. Now, Clara was not familiar with the Daily Wire, and the organizer's name was buried in the contract, but she did find some personal research about the reported content of the film and its backing organization. She decided not to take part in the production any longer, noting that she's a supporter of the LGBT community. And right here, this is interesting. They started handing out props, and I saw a bunch of trans pride posters, and all of these people were laughing at them, says John. They're like, it's men dressed as women trying to compete in the Olympic-style tournament. He immediately went to confirm the premise of the film with the security guard on site, who told him it's a spoof on transgender in sports. And the company that was doing, I had it up here on the top, Odd 615, while extras signed non-disclosure agreements, two agreed to speak with the scene. This is the people that wrote the article here on the condition of anonymity. They tell the scene they signed up for what was advertised as a sports comedy film through Odd 615, a local casting organization. On Tuesday, some began to put the pieces together after reading a post from a Tennessee holler. And the working title for the actual film was Coach Miracle. And there's more here in this article about them sort of trying to hide the trans pride stuff during the filming of scenes so that people wouldn't see them, and try to cover up what the movie was actually about, because I guess they realized that this isn't a popular thing. It's not popular enough in the heart of Nashville, so they couldn't get people to come in and participate in it, because the people in Nashville do not believe in this like transphobic, homophobic stuff. Surprise, surprise, that Daily Wire had to use a local casting company who did not want to give out details on what the production was to get people to come in and fill up space. So it's no shock that a company that values itself with ethics and morals had to lie to get the film made, and had to deceive people to get the film made. So there you have it. They had to lie to get the film off the ground. And yeah, and the locals didn't like it. There were more protesters than there were extras on set, which is quite interesting. Now, this movie in itself is a reactionary movie, and I've said that. I think they thought this movie was going to be a victory lap after elections in November. I think they delusionally believed, that they were going to sweep elections and that the tide was going to change and people were going to be forced to go back in the closet and detransition and all of these other things that they want to do to oppress people's First Amendment and people's ability to live their lives, which did not happen. Danica Roem will be the first transgender state senator in the South. A Democrat in her third term in the Virginia House of Delegates and a former journalist, she won the competitive race in the northern part of the state in Tuesday's election. Wow, interesting. And this happened in my state, so this is fucking awesome. So Danica is going to be the first transgender state senator in the South. That is pretty wild. But you would think that couldn't happen because this culture war is so overwhelmingly conservative, right? That in the South, definitely in the South, this wouldn't happen. But it did. But it did happen. Also, Moms for Liberty backed school board candidates overwhelmingly lose an election. They had 13 people running. One of them won. 1 out of 13. Let that sink in for a moment. 1 out of 13 won. So these people trying to make life extremely difficult for trans students in schools, for gay kids in schools, they lost 12 of their 13 bids. Doesn't seem to me like the culture war is swaying in the direction that you might think it is. And this movie, this comedy, Lady Ballers, was supposed to be a victory lap for that, coming out in December, right after the elections happened. And now it looks extremely spiteful and stupid. It was always that, but it looks even worse now because they didn't really win anything. And look over here, federal judge rules Texas drag ban unconstitutional. And this is a repeating situation in other states, trying to ban freedom of expression, freedom of speech. It isn't working. This culture war, this one-sided culture war, is a losing battle, and this movie is like the cherry on top of an L Sunday. That's what it is. Lady Ballers not only looks extremely cheap, but it was made under lies, under false pretenses, in Nashville, which people would say, oh, that must lean conservative, but they also did not like this movie. They did not like this production. The movie is full of pundits from a news organization, which, by the way, brings up the credibility, questions the credibility of people that are bringing you the news if they can also pretend in a movie, a comedy movie, and make gay people, trans people the butt of a joke. So, I mean, are trans people, gay people dangerous, or are they funny? Which one is it? It can't be that serious if you're making a joke about it. So that's my whole point, is this movie is a huge L. It is a big L to drive subscribers to the Daily Wire. The people that are making this movie, that are feeding you these lies every single day, they do it to make money. There's no shift in the cultural status of the country. If anything, it's only made it harder for conservatives to get elected. It's made it harder for people in those positions to have power politically. Drag bans getting struck down, trans bans getting struck down, bids for running in the government are swinging definitely more progressive. There was more trans people elected in 2023 than any other year. So where is the W for you guys? Where is it? It doesn't exist. This Lady Ballers movie is a joke in itself. Not only is it going to be an awful nod to, it's a parody of a parody of a parody with people that aren't actors, people that aren't comedians, and trying to make something funny, full of politicians to try and drive subscribers to the Daily Wire. It's to me, it's iconic in the sense that it proves that the foresight of what the culture war was supposed to be did not go the way they wanted it to. But the movie's made now. They have to put it out. They should have seen the writing on the wall when they had people protesting it while it was filming in Nashville, where Daily Wire is, Tennessee. And as far as people in the comment section going, oh, this video didn't go the way it was expected, I definitely expected it to be negative. I expected the comments to be negative. That's what happens to marginalized people. They get dogpiled. That's why it's oppression. Come over here. We'll have a good time pointing and laughing at these people that are obsessed with the culture war. I think it's great. Anyway, that's it. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Let me throw up my banner down here at the bottom. Make sure you like and subscribe to get more content. You can hit the join to become part of my channel and support the channel, or hit the super thanks if you like. Or if not, you can just chill and hang out with us. That works as well. Do appreciate it. Have a great week. I'll try to do a different video tomorrow. We'll see what happens.